Flying a DME Arc is one of the more challenging skills to learn for an instrument rating. The common way DME Arcs are taught is the turn 10, twist 10 method, which involves quite a bit of work, thus making it somewhat difficult. In this video, I'll demonstrate another method using the bearing pointer. If your aircraft has an electronic display, it should come with a bearing pointer. If your aircraft has analog instruments, then the equivalent is the radio magnetic indicator, or RMI. Here I'm using a flight simulator, a Microsoft 2020 flight simulator with a Garmin G1000 equipped Tecnam Twin. First of all, let's do some pointer basics, since that's the main instrument we'll be using to do the DME Arc. In this case, the bearing pointer is this cyan colored needle. Right now it's pointing directly towards the fix where we're going to, which is Catalina Island. The VOR station is right at the peak of this hill over here, and you can see the airport sits right over here. So another piece of information you can get from a bearing pointer is what radial you're currently on. So if you read the tail of the bearing pointer, points to 350. So we're currently sitting on the 350 radial. And obviously, if the head of the bearing pointer is up ahead, that means we're flying towards it. If it was down here, we're flying away from it. If the head of the pointer is anywhere on the upper half of your HSI, so anywhere up here, that means you are getting closer to the fix. And if it's on the lower half, lower semicircle, then you are flying away. The beauty of having a simulator, we can kind of do that real quick. So right now, the aircraft is pointed towards the VOR station. If I turn it around the other way, back facing the mainland, you'll see now the head of the arrow is on the lower semicircle of the HSI. Okay, what if it's sideways? What if the bearing pointer's neither on the upper half or the lower half? Well, that means we are maintaining the distance away from the fix, and that's pretty much what we need to fly a DME Arc, is to fly a constant distance from the fix. So the plan here for this demonstration, let me point this back towards Catalina. Fly towards the Catalina VOR, and let's say we'll do a 7-mile arc to the west. So west is to the right. So we're going to shoot for 7 miles. If I remember correctly, the rule of thumb to when to initiate your turn is you take half of your ground speed and then divide that by 10, or move the decimal over once. So we are flying, well, right now it's not showing anything, but this plane usually flies 140 knots ground speed, so half of that is 70. So move the decimal, makes it 0.7. So at around 0.7 miles, 7.7 miles, we'll start our turn and then try to pick up the arc. So I'm going to go ahead and unpause it now, and we'll fly along. I can speed it up a little bit. Right now we're 9.9 miles. Let's get us a little bit closer. Too close. Okay, so there. We're about 8.5 miles, so at 7.7, I'm going to make a turn to the right and then keep turning until the head of the bearing pointer is pointed perfectly to the side. Okay, we're at 7.8, 7.7. I'm starting my turn. And then we'll see how close we get to the 7-mile distance. Okay, it's coming close to having the bearing pointer sitting horizontal, and we're at 6.8 miles. So I think I started the turn, my turn rate was a little slow to begin with, so we ended up being 0.2 miles close. So what we'll do is just fly straight and level for a little bit, and as you can see, the head of the bearing pointer, as we're flying straight, it starts to drop. And if you remember, if the head of the pointer is on the lower semicircle, that means we are flying further away, going away from the fix. So we'll just keep doing this until the distance goes up to 7 miles, which is our target. Okay, right there, jump to 7. Now I'm going to turn left to put the needle back horizontal, and then we'll just maneuver the aircraft, keeping that needle horizontal once we're at our desired distance away. If I turn more to the left, you'll see that arrow start to move up on the upper half of your HSI. That means you're going to be getting closer to the fix. So if I keep turning, this distance is going to go down to 6.9. If I just fly straight, that head of that arrow is going to work its way downwards. But since we're already at 7, we'll just keep it there and maneuver as needed. So right now, because of that turn that I did, the distance got shortened back to 6.8. So I'm just gonna keep flying straight for a little bit, let the head of that needle drop to the lower half of the HSI until we get back to 7 miles. And then on your OBS, you can set it to, let's say there is a radial that we want to intercept to go inbound. And so we want to take course 070 or the radial 250. So you can preset your course indicator to that, and then just fly along the arc until you intercept it, and then we'll turn inbound. Gotta watch my altitude. So we're still at 6.8, so I gotta keep flying level. Here we go. It jumped to 7. So now I'm gonna turn towards the fix until that needle is horizontal. Okay, back at 7, and then just maneuver the aircraft as needed. So a little bit of turn to the left, and then you can level off for a little bit. As the head of the arrow drops, I'm gonna do a slight bank again to the left. So you're not constantly turning and twisting your OBS just to keep track of your distance. And then now that we have our desired inbound radial set, we can just wait until we're about, I don't know, it depends how far we are, but in this case, when we're about 10 degrees away from the inbound radial, we'll start our inbound turn. So yeah, just keeping that thing perpendicular, that bearing pointer perpendicular, we're able to maintain a 7 mile DME arc. So here we go, we are about 10 degrees away, and yep, the CDI is starting to move, so let's turn to intercept in. Okay, now we're established on the inbound radial. Let's go look outside. And yeah, you can see the VOR station right there. Airport is here slightly to our left. And if this was actually a published approach, this is kind of how you do it. Yeah, that's pretty much it as far as the bearing pointer method of the DME Arc. For the next video, I think I'll do an approach to Martin State VOR runway 15. It's, the airport code is KMTN. Supposedly it's one of the more challenging approaches because it involves one of the more challenging approaches in the United States, because it involves a DME arc to the runway, and then the missed approach is also a DME arc. So anyway, thank you for watching, and we'll see you on the next video.